The scent of roasted garlic and thyme filled the air as Olivia Carter moved around her kitchen, carefully plating the grilled salmon and mashed potatoes. It was her son Jake's favorite, and tonight, of all nights, she wanted something to feel normal. The table was almost set when her phone vibrated on the counter. She wiped her hands on a dish towel, expecting it to be a message from one of her employees at the boutique. Instead, she saw his name, Ethan, her soon-to-be ex-husband. She hesitated for a second before unlocking the screen. A simple message, short but lethal. Ethan, Lily needs our support. I'm moving in with her. Already emptied our joint account. Ha ha. For a moment, she thought she'd read it wrong. Her grip on the phone tightened as she forced herself to read it again. But the words remained the same. Her breath slowed. Her heart didn't race. If anything, the stillness of her body scared her. Then, another message. Ethan, she's pregnant, Olivia. We have to be there for her. I know this is a lot, but we can be adults about this. Pregnant. A sharp ringing filled her ears. Her fingers curled around the edge of the table, knuckles turning white. She blinked at the message, her mind scrambling to process it. Her husband, her sister, a child. Jake's voice hummed softly in the background, an innocent tune he always sang while washing up for dinner. The sound grounded her. She straightened her posture, inhaled deeply, and forced herself to act normal. She couldn't break, not now, not in front of her son. Her thumbs moved over the keyboard, typing out a single word. Congratulations, she hit send. If Ethan expected rage, tears, or begging, he was about to be very disappointed. Jake bounded into the kitchen, flopping into his usual chair. "What's for dinner?" he asked, oblivious to the fact that his father had just shattered their family with 2 careless texts. "Your favorite," Olivia said, setting down his plate with a warm smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. He grinned. "Awesome. Is Dad coming home for dinner?" The question was a blade to the chest, but she didn't flinch. "No, sweetheart, he had something to take care of." Jake shrugged, unfazed. "Okay." The 12-year-old was already too used to his father's absence. Too many nights where Ethan had chosen work, excuses, or, apparently, her sister over his own family. As Jake dug into his food, Olivia sipped her wine and let the weight of it all sink in. Ethan was gone. He had already emptied their joint account. He had knocked up her sister and left her with nothing but a text message. But the thing is, he thought she hadn't seen this coming. He thought she was blind, but she wasn't. Not anymore. 3 months ago. Olivia had been doing laundry when she found the first crack in the foundation of their marriage, a hotel receipt tucked into the pocket of Ethan's blazer. At first, she thought it was a mistake, some business expense. But the date, it was a Friday night. One of the nights he had told her he was out with the guys. She had stared at the receipt for too long, heart hammering, stomach twisting. She could have confronted him. She almost did. But something inside her whispered, "Wait, be smart, be patient." So instead, she planned. Step 1, she rerouted her savings into a separate account under her name only. Step 2, she left just enough in their joint account to keep Ethan from noticing anything was missing. Step 3, she hired a divorce lawyer and started gathering evidence. A few weeks later, she checked their credit card statements. Hotel rooms, flowers, jewelry. Ethan wasn't just cheating, he was celebrating it. And now, 3 months later, his arrogance had finally caught up to him. He thought he had won, but he had no idea she was already 2 steps ahead. Later that night, after tucking Jake into bed, Olivia sat on the couch, swirling a glass of expensive wine, one of Ethan's bottles that he had been saving for a special occasion. This felt fitting enough. Her phone buzzed again. "Ethan, I know this is hard for you, but Lily was scared. It just happened. We never meant for it to go this far. Please don't make this ugly." Ugly? He thought she was the one making this ugly? She laughed. Actually laughed. This man had cheated, stolen, and humiliated her, and he wanted to play the victim? She took a slow sip of wine before forwarding the message to her lawyer. Then she picked up her phone and typed her response. "I understand. You're right. She needs your support. Take care of her." And then she waited for him to realize the trap he had walked into. Because while Ethan was celebrating his new life, believing he had escaped unscathed, he had no idea that by the time he figured it out, it would already be too late. The next morning, Olivia woke up as if nothing had happened. She got Jake ready for school, packed his lunch, and kissed him on the forehead. "Where's Dad?" he asked casually. She smiled. He had to go help Aunt Lily with something. Not a lie. Just not the whole truth. Jake just nodded, too busy grabbing his backpack to question it. As soon as he was out the door, she made her first call. It's time. Her lawyer, Victoria, had been expecting this. "We're ready. First move." Olivia exhaled. "Freeze the accounts." Victoria chuckled. "Done in the house? Change the locks today." By noon, Ethan Carter would officially be locked out of his own life. He thought he had emptied their joint account, but Olivia had already moved the real money. He thought he could come back whenever he wanted, but he would never step foot in this house again. He thought he was untouchable. He was wrong. The morning air was crisp, the golden sunlight streaming through the curtains as Olivia Carter sipped her coffee in silence. Today was the day. Ethan woke up somewhere else, not in their bed, not in their home, and he had no idea what was coming next. She had let him have his delusions for one last night, but now it was time for reality to hit him like a freight train. She checked her phone, a text from her lawyer, Victoria. "All joint accounts are frozen. He won't be able to access a single cent." Olivia smirked. Step 1. Complete. Next step? Make sure Ethan never set foot in this house again. She dialed another number. "Locksmith?" "Yes, I need the locks changed. Today. Immediately." It was a satisfying feeling, knowing that by the time Ethan realized he wasn't in control anymore, he would already be on the outside, looking in. Ethan's first shock, finding out he's locked out. Later that afternoon, Olivia sat on the couch, waiting. She had anticipated the exact moment Ethan would come crawling back, and, as expected, bang, bang, bang! The sound of Ethan's fist slamming against the front door sent a ripple of satisfaction through her. "Olivia!" he yelled. "Open the damn door!" She let him knock. Once, twice, 3 times. Finally, she walked over, unlocking the deadbolt just enough to open the door an inch, her expression cold, unreadable. Ethan looked furious. His tie was loose, his hair slightly disheveled. He wasn't used to being on the losing end. "What's going on? You changed the locks?" His voice was clipped, confused, like he truly believed this was all some misunderstanding. Olivia took her time. She let the moment stretch, savoring it. Then she smiled. "Oh, I didn't," she said smoothly. "The owner of the house did." Ethan frowned. What the hell does that mean? She tilted her head, voice laced with mock sympathy. "It means you don't live here anymore, Ethan." For the first time, true panic flickered in his eyes. He reached into his pocket, pulled out his key, and shoved it into the lock, only to find that it wouldn't turn. A muscle in his jaw twitched. "Olivia, this is ridiculous. Let me in." She crossed her arms. "Why would I do that?" "Because we need to talk." His voice was rising now, frustration creeping in. She let out a slow breath, then leaned forward just enough to meet his gaze. "We have nothing to talk about." Then she shut the door in his face. Lily's call, the first sign of regret. That evening, Olivia poured herself another glass of Ethan's expensive wine, the same bottle he had once told her was for a special occasion. Well, this felt special enough. Her phone buzzed on the counter. Lily. She stared at the name for a long second before answering, bringing the glass to her lips. "Olivia?" Lily's voice cracked on the other end. Olivia took a slow sip. "Please, don't hate me." Olivia's lips curved. Oh, this was going to be fun. Hate you, she repeated, her voice almost bored. No, Lily, I don't hate you. A shaky breath from the other end. Ethan said you told him to take care of me. Does that mean you forgive us? Olivia almost laughed. She twirled the wine in her glass, savoring the deep red color before taking another sip. You'll see soon enough. And with that, she hung up. Ethan's desperation. His money is gone. The next morning, Olivia was already at her boutique, going through inventory when her phone buzzed. Ethan. Olivia, my card isn't working. What the hell did you do? She let him wait. Ethan. I tried to transfer money. The account is frozen. Fix this. She smirked. Olivia. Oh, I didn't do anything. The bank did. Ethan. You think this is funny? Lily and I need that money. Olivia. You should have thought about that before emptying our joint account. Enjoy what you took because that's all you're getting. Ethan. You're making this harder than it needs to be. Olivia. No, Ethan. I'm making it exactly as hard as it needs to be. She put her phone down. Ethan thought he had outplayed her. He was about to learn just how wrong he was. Ethan's reality check. No home, no money, no control. That afternoon, Olivia was flipping through legal documents when she got another text. Victoria? Divorce papers filed. He's officially being served. A moment later, Ethan. You're filing for divorce. Olivia. Of course. You made it easy for me. Adultery is clear grounds. Ethan. You think I won't fight this? Olivia. I think you can try, but considering you abandoned your wife and child for my sister, and you have no money, no house, and no leg to stand on, how exactly do you plan on winning? Silence. For the first time since this had started, Ethan didn't respond. Lily's second call. Doubt creeps. In. A few hours later, Olivia was closing up her boutique when her phone rang again. Lily, again. She debated ignoring it, but curiosity won. Olivia. Lily's voice was shaky. What is it, Lily? Ethan. He's talking about suing you for financial damages. He says you ruined his life. Olivia rolled her eyes. Oh, Lily, she sighed. Ethan ruined his own life. You just helped him speed it up. A pause. I think I made a mistake. Olivia smirked. No, Lily, you made several. And with that, she hung up. Final blow. Ethan realizes he's powerless. That night, Olivia got one last text. Ethan, we need to talk. Don't ignore me. She didn't reply. She didn't need to, because for the first time in their marriage, Ethan needed her, and she wasn't playing by his rules anymore. The world around Ethan Carter was crumbling, and for the first time in his life, he had no power to stop it. He sat in his car, gripping the steering wheel so tightly his knuckles turned white. The heat outside was unbearable, but the storm brewing inside him was even worse. Olivia, you should have thought about that before emptying our joint account. Enjoy what you took because that's all you're getting. His jaw clenched. He had nothing. No money, no house, no wife willing to clean up his mess. And Lily? She was no longer the sweet escape he thought she'd be. She was a problem, a very expensive one. Ethan's false confidence, the last shred of hope for days, he had convinced himself Olivia would break first, that she'd call, that she'd beg, that she'd let him back into the house and the life he still thought he could control. But as he sat in his car outside what used to be his home, staring at the new locks on the front door, reality started to sink in. Ethan, Olivia, stop playing games. Let me in. No reply. Ethan, I need to get my stuff. Olivia, you have nothing here. He let out a breath, shaking his head. Ethan, Olivia, don't make this harder than it needs to be. Olivia, I'm making it exactly as hard as it needs to be. He cursed under his breath and tossed his phone onto the passenger seat. She wasn't breaking. She wasn't even acknowledging his suffering. And that was more infuriating than anything else. Lily's breakdown. The fantasy shatters. Ethan had never spent more than a few nights at Lily's apartment. It had always been a place of fantasy, somewhere to escape from his real life, his real responsibilities. But now, as he stepped inside, the illusion was gone. Lily sat on the couch, her eyes puffy from crying, surrounded by past-due bills and eviction notices. Her small one-bedroom apartment felt claustrophobic, a far cry from the spacious home Olivia had built. "You're late," she said, arms crossed. "I had things to take care of," he muttered, tossing his keys onto the table. "Like what?" she snapped. "You don't have a job anymore, Ethan. You don't have a house. You don't even have a damn bank account." His teeth clenched. "It's temporary." Lily scoffed. "Really? Because my lease is up in 2 months, and guess what? I don't have savings, Ethan. I don't have Olivia's money to fall back on. So unless you have some master plan, we're both screwed." Her voice cracked at the end, and for the first time, Ethan realized something terrifying. Lily wasn't his future. She was his burden. She was not Olivia. Olivia had been calm under pressure. Olivia had fixed things when they broke. Olivia had been his safety net. And now he had burned that bridge to the ground, Ethan's desperation. One last attempt. A week passed, a week of no money, no job offers, and no way to fix his mistake. Ethan sat in the dimly lit kitchen, staring at a pile of unopened bills. His credit cards? Maxed out, his savings, non-existent, his options, running out. Lily was nagging him every single day about what to do next, but he had nothing to offer. Finally, he cracked. He grabbed his phone, his pride officially gone, and dialed Olivia. She didn't answer. He called again. Nothing. A few seconds later, a text appeared. "Olivia, blocked." He slammed his fist against the table. His own wife had erased him like he was nothing. Lily begs for help, the ultimate power shift. It started with whispers, then full-blown screaming matches. "This isn't what you promised me," Lily shouted one night, eyes brimming with tears and fury. "You think this is what I wanted?" Ethan snapped back. "You told me we'd be okay. You told me we'd have a family, that we'd be happy. But all I got was this." She gestured wildly to their cramped, suffocating apartment. Ethan ran a hand through his hair. "I didn't plan for this, Lily. Things got complicated." "Complicated?" She let out a cold, bitter laugh. "You destroyed your marriage, burned every bridge, and now you have nothing. And guess what? You dragged me down with you." Tears streamed down her face as she sank onto the couch, hands gripping her stomach. "What am I supposed to do?" she whispered. For a moment, Ethan felt a flicker of something he hadn't felt in years, guilt, but it was drowned out by the resentment growing inside him. Lily was his problem now, and he didn't want to deal with it. Ethan abandons Lily. The final betrayal. 2 days later, Ethan packed a bag, not for work, not to fix things, to leave. Lily walked into the bedroom, her eyes narrowing when she saw him zipping up a duffel bag. "What are you doing?" He didn't answer. She stepped forward. "Ethan, what the hell are you doing?" Finally, he sighed, rolling his shoulders. "I need space." Lily's breath hitched. Panic flashed in her eyes. "Space?" she echoed. "I'm pregnant with your child and you need space?" He ran a hand through his hair. "Look, I just need time to think." She took a shaky step forward, hands clutching her stomach. "You told me you'd be here, that we were in this together. Don't do this, Ethan." But he was already walking past her, already leaving her behind. For the second time, he walked out on the woman carrying his child. Only this time, there was no one left to save him. Lily's final call to Olivia, the coldest response yet. Later that night, Olivia sat in bed flipping through a new boutique catalog. Her phone buzzed. "Lily," she sighed. Of course. She let it ring. Then another call. Then another. Finally, she answered. "What?" A broken sob filled the other end. "Ethan left me." Olivia took a slow sip of tea. "And?" Lily's voice cracked. "I don't know what to do." A beat of silence. Then Olivia spoke, her voice as cold as steel. Now you know what it feels like." Then she hung up. And for the first time in a very long time, she felt free. Ethan Carter had lost everything: his marriage, his home, his money, and now even Lily had become a burden too heavy for him to carry. The fantasy he had built for himself, one where he could betray his wife, start fresh with her younger sister, and still land on his feet, was crumbling faster than he could salvage it. For the first time in his life, Ethan was completely, utterly powerless. And Olivia Carter? She was thriving. Ethan tries one last trick, a desperate text. "Ethan, Olivia, we need to talk. Don't ignore me." No response. "Ethan, you're really going to do this? Just throw everything away like it meant nothing?" Still nothing. "Ethan, at least be an adult about this." Olivia, "Oh, now you want to be an adult." A beat of silence. Ethan stared at the screen, fingers tightening around his phone. "Ethan, we don't have to make this a war. Just let me come back and talk." Olivia, "Figure it out yourself." And then she blocked him. Ethan let out a slow, shaking breath, staring at his screen as reality sank in. For the first time since this nightmare began, there was no backup plan. Olivia's business thrives, while Ethan spirals. At 10 a.m. sharp, Olivia walked into her boutique, her empire growing while Ethan's life burned to the ground. Her assistant Rachel greeted her with a bright smile. "Morning, boss." Sales were up 20% this week. "That's great, Rachel," Olivia said smoothly, setting down her designer handbag. "Oh, and, you're not going to believe who I saw outside." Olivia raised a brow. "Who?" Rachel hesitated, biting her lip. "Ethan." Silence. Olivia set her coffee down, unfazed. He was just standing across the street, staring at the store. He looked bad, like really bad. Olivia sighed, not even bothering to glance outside. Let him watch, because that's all he could do now. Ethan's last attempt, showing up at Olivia's door. Bang, bang, bang. Olivia barely flinched as the pounding on her front door echoed through the house. "Olivia, open the damn door." She let him wait. Finally, she pulled the door open, just enough to meet his gaze, but not enough to let him step inside. Ethan looked like hell. His expensive suits? Gone. His neatly styled hair? Unkempt. His arrogant smirk? Dead. "You need to let me in," he demanded, voice rough. Olivia took a slow breath, studying the man who had once thought he was untouchable. "No, Ethan," she said completely, utterly unmoved. His jaw clenched. "Olivia, don't do this." "Do what?" She tilted her head. "You're punishing me," he snapped. Olivia laughed. Actually laughed. "You think this is punishment?" she mused, voice sharp. "No, Ethan. This is simply you getting exactly what you deserve." His expression twisted, frustration boiling over. "I knew you'd be vindictive," he spat. She smirked. "You thought I'd be weak." He scoffed. "You can't just throw me out like trash. I was your husband for 14 years. Olivia's gaze turned ice cold. "And you threw that away for a fling with my sister." His breath hitched. Finally, Olivia saw it. The fear, the realization that he had truly lost everything. She stepped back and slammed the door in his face. Ethan tries to fight for the house and fails miserably. The next morning, Olivia received a laughable email from Ethan's lawyer. Subject: property settlement discussion. Ethan would like to request a meeting regarding the division of assets, including the marital home. Olivia: Victoria, do I even need to respond? Victoria, her lawyer: absolutely not. The house was never in his name. He has no legal claim. Olivia: perfect. Ethan still didn't get it. He still thought he could negotiate his way back into her life. But Olivia Carter was done playing nice. Lily's final regret. The moment she realizes the truth. Lily: Olivia? I made a mistake. Olivia rolled her eyes. Olivia: which one? Silence. Lily: he left me. Olivia took a slow sip of wine. Olivia. Oh? Lily. He said he wasn't ready to be a father, that I should have been smarter about birth control. Olivia's grip tightened around the glass. Of course. Of course Ethan would blame Lily for his own downfall. Lily. I thought he loved me. I thought I was different. But he just used me. And now I have no one. Silence stretched between them. Finally, Olivia spoke, her voice calm but cutting. Olivia, you ruined our relationship for a man who never even cared about you. Lily, I know. Olivia, I hope you learn from it. And then she hung up. Ethan's final rock bottom, homeless and alone. A few days later, Olivia was leaving her boutique when Rachel caught up with her. Boss, you're not going to believe this, Olivia sighed. What now? Rachel handed her a newspaper article. Former corporate attorney faces eviction after financial ruin. The article detailed Ethan's complete collapse. His credit? Destroyed. His bank accounts? Empty. His job? Gone. And now? He was homeless. For the first time in his privileged, entitled life, he had nothing. Olivia let out a breath. Guess he finally learned actions have consequences. Rachel smirked. You want to frame it? Olivia chuckled. No need, he's already living the punishment. Final scene. Olivia's ultimate victory. That night, Olivia sat in her expensive new apartment, sipping wine as she scrolled through locations for her second boutique. Victoria. Ethan officially lost his appeal. He's out of options. Olivia smirked. Olivia. Good. She deleted the message, exhaled deeply, and set down her phone. For the first time in 14 years, Ethan Carter was no longer her problem. The air was crisp as Olivia Carter stepped out of her boutique, the scent of fresh espresso from the cafe next door lingering in the air. She exhaled, taking in the world around her, a world she had built, brick by brick, after walking away from the wreckage Ethan had left behind. Everything was falling into place. Sales were at an all-time high. Her second store was set to launch in 2 months. Her life was peaceful. And Ethan Carter? He was a ghost? Ethan's last move, a pathetic attempt at revenge Victoria, her lawyer. Ethan just filed an appeal to revisit the financial settlement. Olivia let out a slow laugh, shaking her head. Olivia, let me guess, he's trying to claim I left him with nothing? Victoria, yep, but the judge dismissed it immediately. Olivia, and? Victoria, he was ordered to pay court costs instead. Olivia smirked. Even in his downfall, he was still trying to manipulate his way back. But this time, no one was coming to save him. Lily's final call, the regret that came too late. Lily, I just wanted to say, you were right. Olivia stared at the name flashing on her phone, then answered with a simple, about what? Silence. Lily let out a shaky breath, her voice barely above a whisper. About Ethan. Olivia leaned back in her chair, twirling the stem of her wine glass between her fingers. Go on. Lily sniffled. He left. He told me he wasn't ready to be a father, that I should have been smarter about birth control. Olivia clenched her jaw, an old flicker of rage threatening to surface. Of course Ethan had never planned on taking responsibility. He had abandoned his first family without hesitation. Why would his second be any different? I thought he loved me, Lily whispered, but he just used me. And now I'm pregnant, alone, and I don't even know how I'm going to afford this baby. Olivia exhaled slowly, choosing her next words carefully. I feel sorry for you, Lily, she said truthfully, but I don't owe you anything. Another pause. I know. A beat of silence stretched between them. Then Lily said the words Olivia had been waiting for. I regret everything. For a split second, Olivia almost felt pity. Almost. But then she remembered. Lily had made her choice, and now she had to live with it. I hope you learn from this, Olivia said finally, and then she hung up. Ethan's final rock bottom, the end of the road. Rachel, her assistant. "You're not going to believe this," Olivia sighed, unlocking her phone. Olivia. "What?" "Rachel, Ethan was evicted. He's officially homeless. For the first time in his privileged, entitled life, he had nothing." Olivia. "And, Rachel, I saw him this morning, outside the store, just standing there. He looked bad, Olivia." Olivia. "Good." Rachel. "He wanted to talk to you." Olivia. "Let him want." Because that's all he could do now. The final confrontation. Ethan's last plea. Bang, bang, bang! Ethan pounded on her door, his once expensive shoes scuffed, his clothes wrinkled from nights spent sleeping on couches, or worse, in his car. Olivia took her time answering. When she finally opened the door, she found a shell of the man she had once been married to. "Olivia," Ethan breathed, as if saying her name alone would somehow undo the disaster he had created. She leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. "What do you want?" "I just need a place to stay for a little while," he muttered, his arrogance gone, replaced with something closer to desperation. Olivia actually laughed. "You seriously think I'd let you step foot in my house again?" Ethan flinched, like the idea had never even occurred to him. "Olivia, don't do this. You're not like this," she smirked. "You never really knew me, Ethan." And with that, she shut the door in his face. For the last time. Ethan finally disappears. Olivia's final victory days passed. Then weeks. Ethan's name became nothing more than a ghost of a memory. His number remained blocked. His emails went straight to spam. And soon, he stopped trying, because there was nothing left to fight for. Final scene. Olivia's new beginning. At 6 p.m., Olivia sat at her kitchen table, sipping a well-deserved glass of wine. Victoria. "Divorce finalized. Ethan has nothing. The house is yours. The money is yours. You win." Olivia. "I know." She set her phone down, a slow smile spreading across her lips. For the first time in 14 years. Ethan Carter was no longer her problem. She had won, and she had never felt stronger. The story ends with Olivia thriving, while Ethan and Lily are completely ruined.